This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I'd like to give my apologies for Scott Ladlin. He stayed in the East to prepare the fight against data retention when it comes to the Senate this Tuesday. We will stand and we will fight that legislation. When Labor combined with the Liberal government to force that through in half an hour, 30 amendments in half an hour, shame on them. They sold you out when they did that. We will fight. Unfortunately, you know that Labor's already combined with Liberals to support that, but we will do everything we can to detain that in the Senate. And that's what Scott's working on now. This week, we saw a fantastic rally here in Perth outside Parliament House. We also saw that in Canberra. I spoke at that rally when Australians and West Australians got together to send yet another message to the Abbott government that we will not stand by while you take away the rights of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Their latest attempt to close communities, we say no to. And we will stand with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community to oppose the closing of remote communities. The Prime Minister, self-proclaimed Prime Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, says that he stands with Aboriginal people. Well, how can you stand with Aboriginal people when you take over $500 million worth of funding away from those people? Today, the front page of the Sunday Times said they were bringing the healthy welfare card. That is income management on steroids and will further the disadvantage of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We say close the gap, not the communities. Listening to Tony Abbott talk about it, Team Australia turns my stomach. You don't have a team that excludes homeless people, as they're trying to do. You don't have a team that picks on the most vulnerable Australians by throwing young Australians under 30 off income support for 6 months. And the government confirmed that that legislation is still on the books. They think we might forget about it somehow, perhaps, and try and sneak it through the Senate. Well, I haven't forgotten and I never will forget, and nor will the Greens. We will oppose that legislation and other legislation that hits vulnerable Australians every single step of the way. I'd like to give a shout out to those people who are working on homelessness and who are homeless, who have come up from Rockingham today. I understand there's a contingent of you. We will continue to support you. We will continue to take that message up to the Abbott government, who want to wash their hands of helping homeless people, who want to wash their hands of funding affordable housing. Another show that this government does not care for the vulnerable Australians and for people that are struggling. Well, we do, and we'll continue to fight. In the early 90s, I was part of the campaign that stopped duck shooting in this state. And now we have a Liberal National Party with the support of shooters and fishers who want to bring back hunting in our national parks and in our Crown lands. Well, we say no. And we will push back on that too, and a big shout out to the group that's working on that. I know it's hard. We will continue to stand with you to get rid of this government. And I agree, Mr. Abbott, you want an election, bring it on. The sooner we get rid of you, the better.